Right? Melodies are there. To learn with that mamash, with that niggun, the raindrops, very special, huh? Yeah. It's you're learning with tefillahs. It's really it's incredible. Holy brothers, holiest of holiest, page 41. Actually, 42. Please. Hashem, thanks for that.
Amen.
Alrighty. Today, we have the privilege to continue what we began on Sunday, and that is the Piasetzner's approach to the role of the nigun, of a nigun. Very special to learn this today, since today is the first yahrzeit of my greatest mashpia from a young age. Way before Reb Shlomo had anything to do with my soul. There was another yid that mamish had my neshama, and that was Meir Banai, who you've heard me speak about him so many times this year. And today's his first yahrzeit. And I want the words today and the kavanas of our heart to be for the Ilui Neshama. We've been learning for him all year long, but today on his yahrzeit to really plug it in strong. The Ilui Nishmas Meir ben Yitzchak alav hashalom. Zchus yagen aleinu v'al kulam Yisrael. Kedai to... Do you need a sefer? Yeshcha? Kedai to learn a lot about him, and not as much about him, but to let his voice shake you, which is what we're going to be learning about today, but getting really shooken by a voice, by the nigun. Yeah.
This morning I just began the third chapter in this translation of Shlomo Katz from the Piasetzner, and there's a piece that speaks directly to what we're learning. I just wanted to quickly read it. So it says here, talking about if you haven't attained yet the hitlavut, filling yourself with feeling is the beginning of the manifestation of your soul, revealing your soul. And then he goes in to say that you begin feeling delight and holiness sparks and kedusha, and you begin to feel when you sing and learn Torah in the midst of yearning for Hashem. I just thought it was really beautiful and speaks directly to this.
Beautiful, shukran. Okay, let's go back inside. So we were on the top of page 42, right? Yeah. And what we learned last time is that the nigun has the opportunity to megaleh our nefesh, that our soul becomes revealed when it's touched by a nigun. Our soul becomes revealed. That's not always a great thing, because sometimes we can be mushpa from the nigun of a Russia too. I mean, I grew up with, everyone here. How many of parental advisory explicit lyrics did you have on your CDs in your library at home? Right?
You know how much good new music I found by just saying, I don't know what it is, but it has parental advisory, I'm buying it.
Right.
So much
Right. I don't know what it is, but that's what it says, right? What a confusing world. And some of that stuff, see why?
For life.
Very good. No, this is very good. So why doesn't it leave you?
Well, music doesn't leave me.
Why? Right? No. All of us. Why is that?
Because it touches something deep in yourself, in your soul.
There's a hitgalut of your nefesh. Music can tap into something like that. of a real place in your soul, and it can chop it really strong. I mean, look at the insanity of what would happen at Michael Jackson concerts. You ever see these videos of girls, passing out, like literally passing out, getting crazy. I mean, whatever. I'm sure this was like this when from little footage that I've seen with the Beatles as well. Yeah, the people. You probably remember when they were on the Ed Sullivan show.
Yeah.
They lost it. But what? So there's a. Is that all sheker? No, there's a hitgalut of their nefesh that music touches upon, right? The shaila is, where's it coming from, and what are you doing with it, right? Your soul becomes revealed. Now, the scariest part, though, is when people that are really, really off are singing nigunim because that's what goes, and they chop you inside. Now you're all twisted.
They chop us, or you just think that their music causes us to be open?
Holy music sung by an unholy person is dangerous. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What do you mean they chop inside?
Meaning that you get so attached to them through the holy music that they're playing.
But they have no holiness, no attachment.
Nothing. Nothing.
I don't think this group would be listening to that kind of music. Because
I'm sorry?
It wouldn't appeal us.
You wouldn't know.
If they're not singing, if an unholy person is singing a niggun, it's not coming from a good place in their heart and their neshama.
Yeah.
They're exposed immediately.
Really?
I think so.
Really?
I
wouldn't even want to listen to it.
I've heard like CDs or whatever that you pop in and it's somebody's singing a nigun. I don't remember any names or anything
Right.
like that, but like where like it's a nigun and it's even maybe a nigun that other people have sung that have like got you, and it's just kind of like
It's not real.
But if you're able to take it to if you can take that to a level of kedusha, even if the person's intention was off.
Could be that you could, but it also could be that you can't.
No, I'm not arguing with that at all.
So the danger of when you can't is the other side of what we're speaking about over here. Anyway, that's what we began speaking about last time. And the B'Yasesner says, remember, your soul's being revealed. You haven't decided yet what you're doing with the hitorerut of your nefesh. You didn't come to a conclusion. Oh, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm going to be doing right now. It's not that. I think that's the last thing he said about Eno dechra ma yaseh ha'ish b'sha'a shemitраגש. Third line. ומה יפעל בחלק נפשו שהתגלה. So it's page 42, third line in the Bnei Machshava Tova. וכמו שישנם שני אנשים שמחים, take two people that are happy. Right? So זה מוסיף בשמחתו לעבוד את השם. One guy from the power of music, he uses it to add for his avodat Hashem. וזה שמח בשמחה של הוללות. You know what holilut is? Lawyer, what's the... In a non-holy way. Holilut is like a hefker, simcha, which would lead to probably something unheady.
An empty.
So we're not talking about just it's not music that's secular that's far away from holiness. We're talking about something that's clothed in holiness.
I think so. He keeps on going back and forth though with the term, so I'm not sure. But actually, he keeps on saying nigun. So let's take a nigun for what it is. That's Jewish. That's a Jewish song, right? Okay. כן, גם הניגון, שהוא אחד ממפתחות הנפש, שמעורר אותה בתרגשותיה. So before he's saying, two types of people, one person, simcha, when he gets happy, he uses it for avodat Hashem. Morning, Simon.
He says it for both.
Well,
because he says earlier, so he's saying
both.
He's using a niggun for all kinds of music.
So you say, but what we just said right now is there's two types of people that what happens to them when they get happy? One person says, oh, I have simcha now, I'm going to use that for avodat Hashem. The other person says, my happiness is like New Year's Eve parties. Hashem should have compassion on how many Jews went to New Year's Eve parties. So nothingness, holilut, empty, garnished, nothing, right? Now he says the nigun can do the same thing. כן גם הניגון, שהוא אחד מן מפתחות הנפש שמעורר אותה ואת הרגשותיה. Again, remember, this is a beautiful thing. He calls a nigun mafteach lanefesh, a key to the soul. He used this term for something else earlier in the book. Mafteach lanefesh. Do you remember what it was? In what context was it?
Exercise.
Exercise? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Then exercise is also DB. That's also a mafteach laneshama. Right. Nigun also mafteach lanefesh sheme'orer ota ve'et hargashotea. So he says here, יכול להיות איש שפותח את נפשו. Could be someone that's okay. There's mafteach lanefesh. The key opened up the heart, right? The soul opened up. וחלק ממנה יוצא לחוץ. The part of the heart, part of the nefesh, spills out. ומכל מקום, לא לבד שאינו עושה בו מאומה. So it's not that he's doing anything bad necessarily, anything with it, אלא עוד פוגם בחלק נפשו זה. But rather, you blemish that part of your soul that woke up, that was unlocked by a nigun, and is in the state of nothingness and not used for Avodat Hashem. He says, not only is it, you could say it's not holy, but you're not ending up doing anything holy with the experience you had through the nigun, but rather, he says, you're blemishing your soul. Now, here's and all the chevra on the Grateful Pitum list should mochel me right now, big time. You all know, I've told you many times, Reb Shlomo went to see Jerry one time. He went to a Grateful Dead show one time. I tell you this? Reb Shlomo went one time to a Grateful Dead show. And when he came back, they asked him, so what did you think? So he said, so much light, zero kalim. You just got really, you want to punch me out right now, you want to suck me? So much light, zero kalim. So much, and it's true. Like, you can't go to a dead show and say, oh, everyone here is just full of darkness. No. There's a lot of love in the air. It was induced love, whatever. It's there. What do you do with it? So, he's saying, the P.S. Esner would say, though, no. That's a p'kima in the nefesh. That's a blemish in the soul, because music does awaken something. But then, where are you taking it to? You hear the difference? He's saying, let's not underestimate the power of music. Power of music is powerful.
But is he saying that it's the power of the music, or what you do with one? The music unlocks the place in your soul.
Right.
And then you're at a crossroads of like what you're going to do with that open space now. So like using the Grateful Dead as an example, if you went to a dead show and your heart just, opens up because of the nature of it, and then afterwards you just go do so much chesed and you go help this person, do that person, then is that okay? You didn't create, even though, or if it was the source of the music is what causes it.
Okay, so now we're getting, this is a very good point where you're bringing up. Now it gets a little bit confusing, right? Let's take step one. This is very good. You go to see them when the dead were playing, and it awakens your soul. Okay, and from that you decide, I want to mom. Simon, do you know Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead? No, never. It's not a British Farrangan. It was a whole scene. I don't even know how to describe it, but it was a whole scene. A band that was more a culture, actually, more than just a band, and created a whole scene of mainly hippies, obviously. With I'm minimizing really what it was, but sorry, Ian, he's dead. Ask a real deadhead. It stopped in August '95. You go and you do chesed. You do mitzvahs because you got you want to do it so badly, right? And it brings you closer to Hashem. What would it probably also affect you? You probably wouldn't be able to go back to dead shows afterwards, because if it really awakened your heart for Avodat Hashem, you wouldn't be able to be in an unsneer situation anymore. Like if mitzvah goreret mitzvah, then the path you're going towards you wouldn't be able to shtim both worlds.
So that's going to the actual show. Did you listen to the music?
Again, that's already a shaila of what you feel the makor is coming from. You know who my favorite was? and not anymore, and I can't figure out why. Like, I was listening to Neil Young for so many years, and I started to realize that in the root of it, there's nothing there. It's really good. It's really good music, and it might even touch my soul. But there's nothing that this guy really went through that really brought out something that's going to wake up, from a holy place of waking up my soul and saying, this is what I want my soul to be mushpa from. I did have a friend in yeshiva who used to give me a very hard time, and he said to me one day, you know where Neil Young's Shoresh Neshama is from? I said, well, okay, I'd like to hear this. He said, it says that Balak and it says that Bilam and his donkey had relations, and he said that there was Shoresh Neshamas that came from that union, and one of them was Neil Young. Shem Yerachim.
So I'm tripping out on what Shlomo said, right? You're saying he went to a concert and he wasn't looking at the band, he was looking at the people receiving, right?
Right.
That's why he went.
So I went. Yeah. He could care less.
He could care less about the
He
music.
played with them in San Francisco in the late '60s. Like he knew of them already. They were on the same stage probably more than once. Yeah. Look, I'll tell you guys, today we're going all out, okay? I'll tell you guys a crazy story. Crazy story. At the risk of everything being online now and everything. One time Reb Shlomo played on the same stage in Haight-Ashbury in the late 60s with Jefferson Airplane, and the Dead and a few others. And Reb Shlomo went on after the Dead. And somehow the crowd was not wearing anything by the time it was his time to go on. So he had two of his Hasidim with him there. And he said, I don't know, how can I do, what am I going to do? Like, Seder, even that has a limit of kiruv and everything, right? But it's insanity. So he went up and he closed his eyes and he started singing Baruch Nafshi Es Hashem. While he was explaining before he started singing, he started explaining to everyone that the enlightened ones of the generation are the real Bnei Machshava, the children of kings and queens. And when you're royalty, you have to dress like royalty. And he got them all to put their clothes back on. Yeah, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Meaning he knew that world. He knew that world very well. But he saw that he had a lot of chevra that were still stuck in both worlds.
But it's interesting because...
Then he wrote Jerry Garcia a letter, actually. It was upon his wedding. The chevra got him to actually write Jerry a letter. I have this letter Rabbi Shlomo wrote to Jerry upon his wedding. It's craziness. Anyway, continue, yeah.
I'm curious what he wrote in the letter.
No, just like brachas and stuff. Whatever. He wanted to make some of his chassidim really, really happy.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I was just interested. Rav Shlomo would go up on the same stage as a band, which he would say just a second ago, so much light, caving, referring to the audience. Yet he would go up and he would perform in front of the same audience, and I'm assuming he's saying, I'm going to work on their caving. It was really interesting that Rav Shlomo's approach, apparently, if I'm deducing it correctly, was that by my performing in front of them, I'm going to try to give them caving.
Or to purify the light and then tell them, I'm learning tomorrow morning in my hotel room at 11 o'clock. And that's what happened. What he said was there was a line in the hotel room for people to put on tefillin for the first time. David Zeller, Olav Hashem, was one of those kids there that came to his hotel room the next day, 1966, and started putting on tefillin. Again, going to a show, l'shem, the experience of a show, and I know this is hard for many of us. It's okay. We're grown up. This is no chalila. This is what we're here to do, to work through things together. This is, and I'm not mussering or dictating anything. I want to explain what he's saying. Going to the show, l'shem, a show, or listening to a song even, l'shem, nothingness. If your soul gets revealed from the music, but nothing happens with that revelation, he just says it's a begam in the neshama.
But that's the question. You listen to something. Let's say you even listen to something completely secular, and it does open your soul a little bit, and it does cause you. I understand that he said that the result of that was that you would listen to that music.
Eventually, no, I don't know if you listen, but you wouldn't be able to be in a surrounding of, just men and women dancing together, or women not dressing
listening
sneers.
to music at home,
Okay, yeah, but that was different than what I thought you began with about like.
What if he's saying like inherently the music is not holy, or the person who's delivering the message is unholy? He doesn't say open your soul and do something with it. He says the part of your soul that's lost, and that maybe there is nothing you can do with it. Maybe all you can do is lose a bit of your soul or damage yourself.
That was what we talked about. That's how we started earlier. Is it the person singing it? Is it the experience of seeing it live?
But that's not what he's saying. He's saying maybe you can't do anything at all. It's irrelevant of if it's live, if it's live or if it's recording. If you can't do anything with it, but your soul gets revealed. My Mechavinin?
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's true. It seems to be like it's like lost almost. I don't think there's nothing. It's a pagam.
If your soul doesn't get revealed from it, but what if it? That's what Shimon was asking. What if it does?
No, he's only talking about the point
when it does.
When it does. That's the only thing he's referring to.
Heart,
and it's not the same.
And then what do you do with that?
Your soul gets revealed and it gets lost a little bit.
But does
damaged?
Did he say in the text?
Blemished is the word he
used. Did he say in the text that it reveals? Did I hear him say in the text that it said it reveals your neshama, and it opens your neshama, and then nothing comes from it?
Let's read it again. Let's read it again. יכול להיות איש שפותח את נפשו וחלק ממנה יוצא לחוץ. It could be someone who does open his heart and part of it is revealed, יוצא לחוץ, right? ומכל מקום לא לבד שאינו עושה בו מאומה, not only is there nothing that he can do with that or that he does do with that, אלא עוד פוגם בחלק נפשו זה.
Does it say that he could do with it or that he does do with it? Because that's a big difference.
ומכל מקום לא לבד שאינו עושה בו מאומה, nonetheless, not only does he not do anything with it, but even more so, he blemishes part of his soul.
Is it blemished?
He said that he doesn't. The tachlis, he doesn't do anything with it. So that's why.
That's the question.
I
The
think
question
there's a
is,
distinction.
Forget what he's saying. What are you asking?
I'm asking that question. What if music opens you up, and because it opens you up, people are shut down. I mean, a lot of people are shut down. I don't know.
Right.
And so you listen to something, it opens you up, and because you're open, you're stimulated to do something good. You're stimulated to be exposed. You're stimulated to do something good, whatever. And this, is it that the source of the music was not holy or is not holy, and therefore that opening is blemished no matter what? So even if mitzvot come from it, it's blemished. Or is it that you listen to something good, bad, indifferent, whatever, and it opens you up, and then you just kind of shut down something? And you
What's the nafkamina? Like, meaning, what's the essential difference that would be distinction-wise?
What you do with it.
Ramifications.
What you do with it. What you do with the opening of your soul. Your soul's open now. You have a choice. You're at a crossroads. What do you do with that opening? Do you just let it die on the vine?
Okay, so one thing we could do, I think, pretty easy. Basically, if it's coming from an unholy place, we already know that it's better if you don't receive inspiration that's affecting the awakening of your soul from an unholy place. That's given, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Well,
it's better. No, I'm saying.
No. It may be true.
It's better to not receive inspiration that affects your soul from an unholy source
I would
than a
agree
holy
it's
source.
better, but this causes a big problem for many of us. A very big problem.
You know what Rav Kahana's most famous sefer was for me? Noach? You know what Rav Kahana's, one of my favorites from Rav Kahana is called? Uncomfortable Questions for Comfortable Jews.
By the way, we should really finish the paragraph.
You're right. I want to go, but I know we're touching on a lot of things here, but only if you're okay with moving forward. I think Noach's right. I think this will get a little bit clarified if we go weiter a few lines.
We'll have a little pushka next to us at all times, and every song we listen to, we put like 10 in the pushka all day, and that's the only solution here.
If you have that plan going, I'm not sure if that actually works. And the whole point is, does it inspire you to give it tzedakah?
Right. Not if you show up ready for that.
Exactly. I'm going to give tzedakah so I can listen to this song. I don't think that that's not what he's talking about. He's saying, does it inspire you? Does the music actually inspire you?
Right.
Not that you give tzedakah so you can give yourself a headache to listen to the music.
Right.
not pay to play.
That should be the worst thing that you do also in life, you know, like that you have tzedakah techniques of, you know. Okay, so let's go weiter. Im besimcha shel holelut, if through simcha of nothingness, holelut, it's not nothingness, it's like a, man, I wish.
It's like wildness. It's like
not a vulgar prust, like holelut is when you're drunk. Right. It's not holy, it's holelut. Okay? Im besimcha shel holelut, or bishvirat halev shel atzvut v'yeush, or through heartbrokenness of sadness and desperation. Ad shenofel min bitchono ve'emunato, ve'oseh gam ma'asim asher lo ya'asu rachmana litzlan. So it could lead you to mamish drop you. You fall from your bitachon and Hashem and your emunah, and you end up doing things that are, God forbid, we shouldn't do. Now let's not kid ourselves. That's very real. That's a very real scenario. Music can sweep you away to such a place where you go to the place of it's all good, all love, you know, everything, all you need is love, and like the horrible, and this is one of my favorite songs, which I Mamish try to never listen to, is Love the One You're With, which we hold it as like V'ahavta l'recha kamocha, whoever I'm next to, I love. It's not, that wasn't the Perish back then, right? Love the one you're with, whoever's there, you grab, you love.
When you say we hold it as that, who are you talking about?
Us.
Bnei Machshava Tova.
Bnei Machshava Tova, whoever's sitting at this tish.
Totally.
No?
Yes.
I never for a second thought of it that way, but thank you. I
No,
always
no.
thought of just the absurdity of the song. I never thought of that Perish, but...
V'ahavta l'recha
If it
kamocha,
was
whoever...
absurd, if you thought it was absurd, you definitely thought that of that.
No, I just didn't think of that Perish. I just thought like...
No, but I'm saying
that
that so much of the culture was formed by the music back then. So much of it. Now, it was coming, in the beginning, there might have been a lot of good kavanas by Tmimus Dik and Neshamas that wanted to run away from Brooklyn or God knows where and say, I want to feel. So, big neshamas.
Part of this whole loop is that the musicians, a lot of times, got to this place where they were just trying to make the next big hit. They could care less what messages they're delivering, the kind of music they're playing. They want to play maybe the music itself to a high level, but
right.
And that's what Rav Weinberger, one of the shiurim I heard, one of the many, I guess, I only heard one of them specifically about nigun, they talked about was, where is the kedusha in singing a popular nigun to a pop culture tune? There's nothing. It's just because people are connecting to that tune, you're trying to infuse it, but really it's not about connecting with people, it's about having your music become popular.
Right.
That to me falls in this whole loop.
Although I'd like to believe that even some of the musicians back then, today I just don't know. I have no idea like any current. I don't listen to anything today that's from today. If I do listen to any non-Jewish music, it's definitely from 1965 or something, 1970. And even Rav Weinberg, I was one time in the office. He said, "Look, today used to be back then. Maybe it wasn't Kadosh, but it wasn't like Tuma." And he quoted Paul Simon and Jackson Brown. Those are the two names he actually quoted to me. But what happened after that was like, where were we? We were in the mall in Beit Shemesh last week during the Yarchei Kala, on the way to the Piasetzner. Who was there? Simon, you were there.
Yeah.
Shem, who else was there? Dov, you weren't? No, you went to your Abba. Yes, were you with? No, you were working. Were you there that day? David, so we were sitting in the mall. And I listening to a song, and the beat makes me sick. Just the beat itself makes me just mamish sick. And then I think it was Austin what's his name? Messing. Jonathan says this is actually, if you listen to these words, this is mamish the Sitra Achra, and the chorus was, I don't even want to live, and with an amazing beat, like this driving beat that could convince you that you don't really want to live. Now it's, forget about sexual stuff. Now it's mamish,
Just go all the way. Turn it off already.
Done.
Yeah.
Like their heroes have been doing. What's his name? Cornell and the guy from Lincoln Park. This is happening now.
Oh, yeah.
Just shut off the lights. That's the next thing, because there's nothing left anymore, right? But you can be totally. And we were listening. It felt it felt, I don't know, remember the feeling, Simon, when we were listening to that? We're on our way to the Piasetzner Rebbe, and that night we're going to see,
Spiritual music.
oh,
Lewis, the call, the reaper. I mean, it's always there.
oh, עד שנופל מן ביטחונו ואמונותו, that's what he's saying. ועושה גם מעשים אשר לא יעשו רחמנא ליצלן. Music can completely grab you and really convince you to do things that really, if you weren't mushbach from the music, you'd never dream of doing. Ever. וכיוון שאנו חברתנו לשם השם, but since the point of us getting together, our chabura, is לשם שמיים, ורוצים אנו להוציא את נפשותנו, להמשילה על גופנו, but we want our nefesh to govern over our bodies, לקושרה בקדושתו, to connect it to the holiness of our soul, ולבטל אותה ואת עצמותנו בנשמת שם ד' י', and to nullify the guf and our ego, עצמותנו, into nullify it, mevatala, into the neshama of the Rebbeinu Shalom, into the soul and spirit of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. לכן, נרגיל את עצמנו ברינה ונגינה של עבודה לשמיים. Let's start to נרגיל את עצמנו, to accustom ourselves to see how that simcha through kedusha of nigunim. Meaning, he's saying now a conscious avoda. Don't just see what happens to you next time you show up at a farbringen. He's saying, do this. This is an exercise. And he's going to take us through it in a second. Yeah, Eli.
He used this phrase of maftechus hanefesh.
Right.
So you have a key to a door. The door opens both ways. Right? You open the doorway, as it were, from yourself into your soul. You touch your soul. But the thing is, you also awaken this force. You let the soul out. The question is, what do you do when you let it out?
Right.
If you just let it out, you kill it.
Right.
But you've got to take it in heart, like you've got to let it out into something.
Right.
So this is
Into something.
right into Hashem.
When it's into nothing, it's a bad sin.
Mamash.
It's a bad sin.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, I mean, it is into something. It's into the words. It's into the meaning behind the Mishoreh. Like
Right.
it's you've opened it, and now when you open it, I keep on getting confused because remember it has this incredible mashal that he brings. He's like, there's this guy and his son's in jail, and his son's in jail, and the only time he can go in there is when he goes with the lawyer, right? To
Right,
go visit
right,
his or with,
right.
with a judge and to
Right.
make a judgment. He goes, and so the father says, well, I don't want to go in there. This is like law stuff. I don't want to. It's not fun. It's not an opportunity. So I don't go in, and he never sees his son because that's the only opportunity he has.
Right.
And
So
then
it's
there's the other father who says, this is an opportunity. I don't care what the point
It's an
of the visit
opportunity.
is. I'm going to go hug him. I'm going to kiss him. I'm going to tell him everything's going to be okay. And we're working to get him out. I'm just trying to...
Well, that wasn't here. You're talking
was-
about
that was
the
there.
Rosh Hashanah, the drasha for Rosh Hashanah.
No, that was here. It was here.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was
Bnei
here.
Machshava Tova.
It was Bnei Machshava
Yeah,
Tova.
I thought it was in the drasha of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Aleph.
I'm pretty sure it's here, but I think he's talking about like an opening of the body, like where you, or when like you.
So sorry. You're completely right. I'm getting misguided. Nachon. When there's an opening, no matter what it is, it's an opportunity.
Yeah. So why isn't that here?
It is.
No, he's saying it's an opportunity.
Betach it is.
You have to do something with it because
It
something's
is.
happening, whether good or bad. Something's happening is what he's saying. So if you're not doing something good, then don't think nothing's happening. Something bad is happening.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. It's totally an opportunity. Tremendous opportunity. Yeah. You know, there's a Rav, listen to this, this broke my heart, my brother told me this. There's a Rav in the old city who grew up on songs like many of us grew up of Shirei Eretz Yisrael, like Naomi Shemer. Okay? And when you get a little bit too frum, then she becomes like, the Zionist, even though there was such purity in those early... Did you grow up, you know some of those...
Yeah, she performed at my school for...
Really?
Yeah, in Canada. She came in 88 for the 40th...
40 years, 30 years ago.
Yeah, she came. She sang with kids from my school.
She was a big neshama. She took Reb Nachman's words, Da lecha shekol esev va'esev. You know this songs? Yesh lo shira. You don't know this stuff. Yes, you know this. Yeah, of course, right? Now, So my brother told me that there's a Rav in the old city who's on fire in Chassidus. He has a lot of Chassidim. He's big. I know him. He's an amazing, amazing, sweet person. But sometimes when he just wants to connect to Hashem on a level of Tmimus, Mamish closes himself in his room, and he puts in, like Yerushalayim, he listens to, like Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, or other Naomi Shemer Nigunim, right? Say what you want to say about it, but there's something so, like, why? Because that brought him Kisufim for Yerushalayim B'Tmimus, right? Kisufim to go back to Yerushalayim again B'Tmimus, right? So many of us were raised on different types of music that we probably, some of us could go back to, like, if our parents raised us on Dylan, for instance, right? Or if our parents raised us on I don't know, Joni Mitchell, right? We probably could go back to that place as a kid and just to get, Tmimus again. But on the level of a social norm of where we're at in life, it's difficult to really say that this is something that I could really live with and feel okay with. And that it really, without dealing with it, that there is some kind of a imprint on my soul. He calls it a blemish. He says, Gam, is his word. Yeah, yes.
Or just a few points. One is just separate. You mentioned the where I once was guiding a couple starting to make some headway with Yahadut, and his name came up, and I said, he wrote a book you really should read, Uncomfortable Questions for Comfortable Jews. And the guy responded with such tamimus that he goes, why would I ever want to be uncomfortable? And I actually didn't have an answer. Like, he really caught me off guard, and like I couldn't answer properly. So that was just on that. But I can only speak to what I grew up on with music. I grew up on Mordechai Ben David. Like, I absolutely grew up on Jewish music. Right. Karl Bach I heard of once. I remember when there was a Hess concert, and they had 5 different musicians. He came out to sing one song, right. And that was like my my exposure. Now that I have this idea of what soulful music is and the importance of it, like these concepts, it just was never, I realized, like, let's say Yidden was such a popular song. Like, but that was like a German song, and it was a copy, like, there's no holiness to it. There is Mashiach, like, these were big hits. No real holiness to it. And like, when I think of like music that, and I don't think to be such a holy soul that I can say, well, this guy's connecting and he isn't. But I can tell you this, and I've mentioned before, Miriam and I both connected to the first album of Matisyahu. I say that, Shake Off the Dust, Arise. And it was such a powerful connecting time period for me, for us. I just went back to it recently to listen to it. And I'm telling you, for me, what I think my soul is, like, I felt it open up. It still did the same. The newer stuff that he's coming out with, which is still some decent lyrics, and I know there's, fancier music behind it. No, I don't feel it. I can't say it. But like, you have to wonder, when you have to. The real danger is almost like the Jewish stuff that has beats to it that are coming from a really dark place. Steve Mendy arrived home. And this is exactly the point he was talking about. He said, he was talking from a technical standpoint. You can't imagine how much of the other side and the new beats that you're talking about and the new electronic genres are now like the Jewish music, because he's helping to produce albums. They want to use that. Oh, yeah. They want that. That's where it's at. It's got nothing to do with anything from the heart or from the soul.
I want to further that. I sat yesterday morning in the office of the biggest producer here in Israel for Jewish music, managing at him. It was a very big meeting. It was an important meeting in the Dov Kran, in the tele. I told you guys that I got a call last week for a concert. He told you, and the person said, "Listen, we're looking like, can Dov Kran promote this?" I'm like, What do you mean? He's like, well, he's now that's what he does, right? He's like, anyway.
Fathers, sons, and Dov.
Anywho, I'm sitting in this guy's office. I actually really like this guy. Mom is a sweet guy, and we might, Be'ezer Hashem, we might start working together. And he starts to play for me his projects that he does that are selling so well. And he says, I could see you, on maybe if you do a Shabbos somewhere, you want to take these guys with you. I said to him, first of all, you'd end my career, and second of all, I'd kill you. This is, are you kidding me? This stuff. And he said to me, that's what he realized, that you can sell garbage today. You could sell garbage, but if it sells, you make money and you keep on selling it. It's become a meat market. It's becoming a meat market. One time I was on the plane with a very, I don't want to say which one of the top ones. Top ones. This is about 8, 9 years ago. He sees me. We see each other. I said, Shalom Aleichem. I remind him who I was. I didn't see him since I was a kid. He said to me, we sang your niggun last night. He's like, listen, next time you get one of those, you have to let me know. Meaning you should give it to me. Because it's basically,
right.
It's a market.
Right.
Someone offered me money for Shabbos Kodesh one time. I said to him, how much does your second daughter cost? So that nigunim are like, are you kidding me? Do you know this? It's the most intimate expression of the soul. And it becomes money. But that's why those things that are sold are not the nigunim. That's just music. That's not nigunim. You don't sell nigunim. You sell music. So that's why it's very important. I want to emphasize and stress. Yossi's right. Reb Shlomo was asked recently. I found this. I shared it with some of the chevra. What do you think about Mashiach? He said, "En lez ketzev Yehudi." Doesn't have Jewish rhythm. That's what he said. It's not a Jewish rhythm. It's not a Jewish rhythm. But it brought so much consciousness of Mashiach. So we don't know. But the more developed and refined your neshama is, the more sensitive it is. The more that you can't, that's not going to grab you. And in fact, it might do the opposite to you. So if that could happen with Jewish music, can you imagine what can happen from, a non-Jewish, non-holy place? Big stuff. When Kurt Cobain blew his brains out, do you guys remember when that happened? What a wacky thing it did to us yeshiva bachas. We're sitting learning Shas in the morning. Couldn't care less about Rabbi and Rava. Couldn't care less. This guy who has a song called Rape Me blows his brains, and that affected our neshamas 1,000,000 times more than whatever Rav or Shmuel ever said. Whose fault? It's not our fault. It's not our fault. We were raised there. It was the world we were raised in. It's not our fault. That's what I want to stress here. This is not our fault. This is the world we were born into. It was our parents, Baruch Hashem, they did the best. Everything is confusing, but now we have no heter anymore. The avoda of clarifying these inyanim, because it'll just be more confusing for our children. So we really have a big achras that if we know that music has a big impression on our soul, that means music has a big impression on your child's soul, right? If it's about everybody, we got to be really, really careful. This is a big avoda. It's a big thing. It's a big inyan, very big inyan. That's why, your house was blasting with Karduner on Thursday night. It was just out of this world. I was thinking about the home, like the echoes of that in the home.
I told
the
Jeremy
daughters,
I said, he was staying with us for Shabbos with his family.
Right.
I said, we're going to be having Friday night dinner here tomorrow night in this room.
Right. He mikved, he kashered. Not that it needed kashering, but I'm saying, not chas v'shalom, but I'm saying that a nigun, that no, chas v'shalom, you're home. Elevating, pseder, elevating. Chas v'shalom is kashering. God forbid. He should kasher my heart. But he does. I feel like when he kashers my heart. Blowtorch, libun, mamash.
Was there fire in that room?
There was. My mother said, she was watching, she's like, how did you guys manage to do that? What was that thing on that fire that was?
I went back and watched some of the.
Very cool.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, let's finish this paragraph.
Well, when you hire the best promoters.
There he is. DK Productions. Okay. לכן להרגיל את עצמנו ברינה. Since what? Since my soul does become revealed through music, don't wait for it to happen to you. לכן נרגיל את עצמנו, let's start doing this, ברינה ונגינה של עבודה לשמיים. לא שנצטרך לחבר ניגונים חדשים. He says, okay, don't now say, I have to now write new ניגונים, because I have to do this work. כמו שלא נאמר שמי שרוצה לשמח עצמו ביין, צריך לעשות יין מגיתו דווקא. Just like we wouldn't say about someone that says, oh, I want to משמח myself through wine, that I have to make wine from dafka from my, what's that?
From
my, how do you say this? From my, like, meaning like, oh, I have to now plant a vineyard and no, the wine exists, it's there. The ניגונים are there, right? ומי שרוצה לעורר את עצמו וזולתו בדיבורים, צריך לחדש שפה חדשה. And also, if you say, if I want to מתעורר now for real, I have to invent a new language. No, we have a language. We have to use it properly. There is wine. We have to use it properly. There are nigunim out there. If you are a Baal Menagin, maybe you want to throw out a chiddush. That's great. All the power to you. But there's already so much there. So look what he says here. קח לך איזה תנועה של ניגון. Take a movement of a nigun. Now, what does he mean by tnuah shel nigun? What do you think that means?
A beat or a structure. Maybe talking more about what you told us about Shlomo Katz, how he had a tier in every nigun. So he has to have
that's cool. Like a certain movement.
Major and minor.
Yeah. I was thinking, in every nigun there's like what they call a knetch. Mm-hmm. A knetch means like a hook, a holy hook. So, like for instance, I'm going to sing a song. You tell me what you think the knetch is, okay?
Very first piece.
For you, right? It's different. Exactly. For you, meaning what caught your neshama? For you, it's what?
That was the quick.
Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? The transition. Take a movement of a nigun. That's one interpretation of what it can mean. Hasev panecha el hakir. Put your mamish face the wall. Or rak tizgor et einecha. Just close your eyes. ותחשוב שוב. Start thinking again. שאתה עומד לפני כיסא הכבוד. That you're sitting before the throne of glory. ובשבירת לבך באת לשפוך את נפשך להשם. And with the heartbrokenness of your heart, you came to pour out your soul to Hashem. בשירה וניגון היוצאים מקרב לבך. You come to pour out your heart and soul for Hashem through a nigun that's coming out of the depth of your heart. ואז מעצמך תרגיש, you'll start feeling from within yourself, שנפשך יוצאת ברננה. You'll start feeling from within that your soul is emerging with happiness. אם מתחילה היית אתה המנגן, if in the beginning it was you that had to start singing, לפני נפשך לעוררה מתרדמתה, for that you had to go and approach your soul to sing and awaken it from its coma, מעט מעט, slowly, you'll start feeling שנפשך התחילה כבר לנגן בעצמה. This is amazing. You'll start to feel that your soul is singing on its own. I wish Tom was here today. I wish he was here all the time, but Dafka today, he told me he had a doctor's appointment. He really wanted to be with us today. Because Tom always speaks about that moment when you're on with the band and the music, you're not playing it anymore. It's not you. It's just going. It's just going. Now that can happen also completely in a world of Tumah. completely in a world of Tuma, where your soul's singing up from its on its own. The music's happening on its own. There's complete synergy and harmony and oneness between all musicians on stage. That's coming from a completely wrong place. But this happens also. This can happen with us. We're really like I mamish feel like this sometimes here on Friday night. At the Tish, I felt it big time. At the Tish, I felt it very, very strong. Me'atzma. Like, it's not you having to wake something up. It's just, I don't even know a better terminology. I don't want to say autopilot, because that means it's like you're not in it, but you're so in it.
That's the purpose of a niggun.
Yeah.
That's what a niggun is for.
That's what he's saying.
You know, it's when you stop thinking about what you're singing and you're just singing. That's the whole idea. That's why to some people it seems very repetitive when you just hear something over and over. But so you get to that point and the harmony is going on, and you just stop thinking about it and you start feeling it. That's the idea.
Absolutely. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Who works with loops?
Huh?
You ever seen a musician, like a really talented musician who works with loops? I think it's the most amazing thing. He starts with a layer.
Laser.
He creates it. And it's so
Laser has mastered it now. Laser's, have you seen it? He's got it down. He cries when he's playing. You hear it. There's a tear in every song of his. Laser has it down. He's mastered. He showed me it. I remember we were Rosh Chodesh Elul about 5-6 years ago. We had a gig together in the Golan, overlooking the Kinneret. It was amazing. He pulls this thing out. He doesn't tell you what it is. I go after a 3-hour drive to the side. I just got to stretch, and suddenly I see Laser on a stage overlooking the Kinneret with he looped already himself 4 times, and I feel like it sounded like this majestic orchestra of guitars. And that was like 5-6 years ago. He has it down now. Nailed it.
He was in Papa Golf.
You used it?
A couple months. Yeah, Tom and I were both sitting there like, what is going on?
It's but it's that
People
thing.
were
It's
asking
this.
me there what that was. They're like, what was going on up there? I'm like, oh, he's got this looper.
Got the looper.
He's just.
We were texting Yakir. I was taking
The
pictures of the
millisecond
looper.
and he just.
Yeah.
There's a lyric for that. That what you just described. Not to draw from the world that you.
Why elevate?
But there's a lyric that says the music plays the band. That's what you're describing.
The music plays the soul.
The
Music's playing you.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. That if that's possible to reach that place, oh boy, do you have to guard it?
Especially in that space.
Since that's a reality, exactly. Since that could really happen, that just means that, look, it's the same thing with like everything that's so potent, right? Anything potent, it's the same in you,
In the store also, like, you spend time, you can't be all day, we could be, but we're not, all day in the Beit Midrash, but you hype up your soul, so you feel like the music's clear enough and loud enough, and then you go out into the world and you hope that music is still playing in the background, or in the foreground for that matter, but
it's not necessarily always going to happen.
A lot less when you expose yourself to draw out your soul, but then just drop it.
Okay, let's stop here. We're going to continue here next time, but let's sing one nigun. But sing a nigun consciously and exercise right now, okay? It's not like let's see what happens to us. Let's sing a nigun and let's find our souls in there. And don't try to then check and see did it take me or not. Just be one with the nigun, okay? Be one with the nigun. What should we use? A very strong nigun. What should we use? No, you have an idea? You have an
A bunch of us were with you in a very strong kind of way.
Yeah, I want to do a slow one though. Dafka. Yeah, I want to do a slow one. I'm open to suggestions. That one. Do you guys know that one? Rizolcha? Well, I want something that people know. Yeah. Oh, how does it go? I don't remember. What are you singing? Yeah. Do you even remember when you stopped and the nigun started? Can you even remember the moment when the nigun was the one that was playing and not you? Yossi, good choice. Good choice. Thank you. Very, very good choice. All right, we'll continue tomorrow by Lichter. Thursday morning, remember, El Capitan.
When is it coming for Shabbos?
When we have a real show.